Welcome to It's the Economy, an important topic today. The Indian Meteorological Department has raised its monsoon forecast for 2025 to 106% of the long period average, up from 105 that it forecast in April. It also expects the June rainfall to be above normal. That is, it will be at 108% of the long period average. That's one issue. Separately, the government has announced an average 4.5% rise in MSP, minimum support price. Rice got a 3% hike. How will all of this impact the kharif output? I have with me Dr. Ramesh Chand, member agriculture of the NITI Aayog and one of the best agri-economists in the country. Dr. Chand, really appreciate you giving us time. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Well, first up, sir, early rains. Some tell us that that is bad and that will impact sowing. Others tell us it will mean a robust sowing. Your thoughts?
It may be bad in terms of a few dimensions, but if you look at the net, it will have positive impact. You see, it has happened after a very a long time. So we do not have historical data to support that that this kind of rain will have particular kind of impact. But from the experience, otherwise, that you will find that evaporation is less, water stress will be less, and effect on animals when there is not temperature going to 44, 45, you find that productivity of livestock is different. So I feel that overall it will be net positive.
Oh, overall it will be net positive. Is there any specific areas that will benefit or crops that will benefit because of early rains? Geography or crop?
Yeah. You see, already the date of arrival of monsoon in Kerala and some parts of southern India, western India, where you get pre-monsoon kind of rain. It is only that central North India, the date of arrival is still very far. So in those areas, somewhere you find that it is a week early, somewhere you find it is 10 days early. So it is likely to give a longer growing period to the crop. And also in terms of quantity, in many years we have seen that in the beginning, a little bit rain will come, it's not adequate, farmers are not sure whether they should go for sowing or not. This time, those type of uncertainties are not there. So I think overall, initially the sowing start for cereal and pulses.
Yeah.
So far then we can expect that that it will be positive.
Oh, that's good to hear, net positive. Just if you can mention what may be the negative at all. Is there any specific crop or region which can be hurt?
Not in terms of crops. Some people just in general say if the temperature doesn't go to its normal level, there may be some nematode development in the soil, some pest insects in the soil will remain. Those kind of things some people say, but as I mentioned to you, that we do not have historical
data
to.
Fair enough. No, fair enough. So if there was any data or evidence available, you would know it. So we are primarily going by what you say, and that is net positive. That's good to hear. Is there a likelihood of higher output because the overall LPA, long period average, is 106%?
Certainly, again, there we have historical data that there is a positive relationship between the amount of rainfall and growth rate or performance of agriculture sector. So above normal, yes, in some states, maybe there will be more floods, that kind of situation. But overall experience of the country has been higher the rainfall, better is the performance of agriculture.
Okay.
And
that's important.
Holds.
That's important, and perhaps even groundwater will improve for the Rabi harvest. So let me now come to the MSP. The overall CPI-weighted hike has been 4.5%. That's the lowest in 3 years. And for rice, it is only 3%. would that worry you? That, terms of trade have already turned against agriculture because food prices, vegetable prices, cereals prices have all fallen. Would you worry that rural prosperity, rural purchasing power will be impacted?
Lataji, terms of trade should not be seen from price of 1 year or price of a few months. It should be seen but by the situation in the previous years. Terms of trade for agriculture has been rising for more than 12 years. This has been a very, very long period. And you know that last few months we have seen food inflation even touching 10%, when
Yes.
non-food price inflation was very, very low. I feel that this is a correction which is happening in the market, and it need to happen even otherwise.
Oh.
If you have terms of trade going favorable for some kind of say sector over a very, very long period, like they were there for, as I said, 12, 13 years. 11,
Yes.
12 onward, you just find they have been only improving,
Right.
except some years. So it is important for balanced growth of economy that terms of trade come back to the balance.
Okay.
If that balance get too much disturbed for too long, then resource allocation across sectors become a matter of concern. That it is possible that because of highly favorable terms of trade, you are overproducing something. If the demand is not there, you are not able
Yes.
to sell even in international markets. So I think the correction of the sort which was expected, food inflation remained very, very high for a very long period. So it is now from last 3, 4 months, we are having within the comfortable zone.
Yes.
That gave otherwise policy space to RBI and to the government to do other favorable things for different sectors.
Yes, that's a great point, sir, because ultimately governments, if they take away from farmer to help the consumer, they have to balance very delicately between the food growers and the food consumers. But your strong point, therefore, is that rural consumption, which has been the mainstay for the last 2 or 3 quarters, that is not going to get impacted because the MSP is lower.
No, I don't think. You see, first of all, lower, we should not judge in terms of what was the growth earlier years. The new bases selected for MSP, that is at least 50% higher than what is cost A2 plus FL. You
Okay,
see, that itself, that you are keeping prices highly remunerative.
fair enough.
50% margin over A2 plus FL is, I find, quite strong and quite reasonable. It keeps prices remunerative. If the cost structure was such that it increased by, say, more than what is the increase based on which MSP is recommended, then you would have seen that it would have gone much higher. That is not the
Yes.
that's not the case. Yeah.
No, that's again a very valid point, sir. A2 plus FL is already a big base and takes care of all the cost increases, and hence the 4.5% should
And
not
second
be.
aspect is farmer income is function of prices as well as output. If we have, say, this year also, which I am quite sure if things stay normal, that growth rate will be more than 4%. So if you give, say, 1% more price, but growth rate drops to 2%, it negates the
Yeah.
effect of price.
So you're betting on a 4% agri output this year also,
If
because the GDP is going to be announced, and the consensus I got is almost 5% for FY25 as well. And you think on top of that, a 4% is possible this year?
You see that advance estimate of food grain have come, which are much higher than what were the earlier estimates. So the growth number of 3.8 is likely to be revised. It will go beyond 4%. And it's not that we didn't have in the past consecutive 4 or 5 years of good growth. that kind of experience is there in Indian agriculture. And if this monsoon remains normal, other than the date the other two dimension, total quantity we have estimate 6% more than normal. Distribution is so far we didn't hear anything that it will be concentrated in the beginning or in the middle or toward the end. So far, expectation is that everything will be normal. And with that kind of situation and other measures happening in agriculture, I think this year also, despite 2.4, 2.5 robust growth rate, we can have another year of robust growth rate.
Okay. Well, just a final question, sir. There are the negotiations with the US are at an advanced stage of preparation. A delegation has just gone from India and another one is expected from the US. Where are we on Agri? Will we have to open our doors to any of the US products, especially in dairy? Anything you can enlighten us in terms of what to expect?
2 days back, I with my colleague, we have brought out a working paper. It is put on the NITI site to see in details. But I will answer your question. First thing is that US situation, Lataji, is, not certain.
Yes.
The judiciary
Has stopped, yes.
You know that President has no power to do those kind of things. First is that lot of uncertainty. There was an initial big shock, then it was moderated to some extent, some understanding with China. So one is that situation is very, very uncertain and volatile, and we can't, so we have to presume a different scenario.
Okay.
So, but we have said in our paper that yes, we can accommodate to some extent concern of US. It's not only a reciprocal tariff; it should be reciprocal treatment. Yes, we are giving better ground to them, then they should also give better treatment to us. And I think we can deal with it. And our major export to US are that of prawn and fish, frozen fish, and second is basmati rice. We are quite competitive in these two. The only country in terms of fish which we have mentioned in our paper is that Nicaragua is emerging as a competitor in global market. So and they are not suffering from this reciprocal tariff kind of thing. Otherwise, if you look at the competitive measure from the past, we have improved our competitiveness in US market. And fish, and even in case of basmati rice, other items are small like natural honey, those kind of things. So I think we can manage. Our Ministry of Commerce, they are negotiating. They are trying to balance interest of India and also accommodating to the extent concern of US.
Got it, sir. Thank you very much. We will, of course, highlight the highlights of your paper on the NITI website and get a full view. Thank you very much for staying with us, spending time with us and giving us the very big takeaway that this year's agri output can be as robust as last year's as well. That's the positive. We wrap up on Bazaar. Chartbusters coming.